Alright, that is also Lorik Tia, the Kissing Lobro Chasan, Zungme, the Anachik Tisha, want to be Mangochelia, and Bradley Continue, the Goma, Diniza, and the ring of the Tia, and Sake Lama, and it's Tabakia says, Korongi, Ma Sonche Bekitang, Shemeshita said, Dikorma, and Shuyachi.
So, good evening. So tonight we're going to take a break from our study break, or we'll take our study group in a different direction for a while, and that's because there's a retreat up at the monastery, and a number of the students who regularly come to our study group, they are partaking in that retreat. So therefore, for the 3 study group weekends that they can't come here, I've decided rather to suspend the Lorik teachings and restart them in November, because if those students were to miss 3 consecutive teaching weekends, then for sure confusion would reign for the rest of that subject. So rather we're going to use this opportunity to look at quite a remarkable short text by a famed Sakya Lama. And the teacher is Geshe Thubten Rabten, and the text, as we have before us, is parting from the 4 clingings.
And Jesus Jambeyanke, Shembe Shiregiti, and Jesus Jambeyan Soma, yes, Koronlia, and Song, and the Korongeda, Jesus Jambeyan Son Shabodi, and Koronge Nyamshe now, and Dusene, and Ma, Normal Mason Shakoside.
And where this teaching of the parting from the 4 clingings came from is that one of the founder lamas of the Sakya tradition was in retreat for 6 months. And he, near the end of that retreat, gained a direct vision of Manjushri. And Manjushri imparted this teaching of parting from the 4 clingings directly to him.
Lama Koronlia, and also she see Lamaki, Jizjame Shin song, and Jizjame Shin song, Lamaki, Nyamshe Naje, and Ma, Manzulma Son Shagode, Pemasing Arzuine, Denigi, and the chicken, and Jizjame and my Bibiki, Shembeshira, or Manzidiri, and the chicken, Chinja, Jerabat, Pemasukov, Yabochida, and the chicken, Yabo Charwada.
This is something worth reflecting on. Because how fortunate are we to be sitting here and hearing a teaching that was received by an accomplished being directly from Manjushri. Because in order to be able to perceive a being such as Manjushri, to directly perceive a being such as Manjushri, this is remarkable enough. And then to receive a teaching, record that teaching, and we, centuries later, nearly 900 years later, we come to study that same teaching. And this is something really quite remarkable.
And this
So the name of the text is, as we have here, Parting from the 4 Clingings, and composed by Geshe Thubten Rabten.
And ya cha che de le korsungusin da gerin jenyi lamada tuje jenyi idamla nini gyawso chila ji ndala jenyi labtu so sen ya anji cho ya cheju jin an ya nga dala ya jenyi labro nang se ma ju shu da rimshi.
The text starts with the first verse, which is the verse of homage, written by the author. My teachers who are so kind, meditation deity so compassionate, to you I go for refuge from my heart. Pray, bestow your blessings upon me.
ane jiga lama da jik sangye lama da ngo yerme be da sangye da ngo yerme be lama da ngo yerme sangye dena ya lama da ane idam da lama da sangye ngo yerme idam gi namba den be idam gi nam idam tuji chen da idam tuji chen se de zhuo semje tam je le zhe yu ko ne sin ne ruwa da zhe yu sin ne ane idam gi namba den be de idam gi la da dona lama
die semjen tama den ka
semjen tamje le ning zhe yu ko ne semjen ta dunga da jana samba da semjen de gi juye ge dunga da jana da de gi dana sembi ge zhe wa tuji chen be ge namba tu semjen le zhe wa
konso kunlong de sangye dang
idam se di idam gi namba den ba ro ga jen den ba de semjen le phe be den do就是sem je le phe be den ba za za ka so de sem je jam ba da zhe wa so sem je dunga da jana sem be ge jam ba da an sem je di gi da den na sem be jam ba sem je dunga da jana sem be ge de ni ge zhe wang ge da du chi gi tab le du yi chi do ka bre la me na ba den ba da an sa yi cho ju ge na ba den ba idam mi na ba den ba de yung gu ro de ze don da la ma de idam sa je su ngo ji ba de ine na ba du su da zhe wang ge du je duwe tabla kebi tonen tablam tone dus namba denshe be deni gidam ya lama idam sangye odeslia ne dening ne su de sem ding ne an jiga gyapsu chi se ya kusung de su ge yuen da ani tuje jembe nga ne an de ya gyapsu chu yin se ro da.
Refuge from the depths of his heart. The author, Drukpa Gyaltsen, he goes for refuge to his lamas and to his yidam, who would be seen as indistinguishable, indivisible from the Buddhas. So we can think of, whilst two are mentioned explicitly, teachers and meditational deities, really it's being referred to as a group of three in that they are of the same essence. His lamas, his meditational deity, and the Buddhas, they are all of the same essence. And he goes with refuge to them with sincerity, holding in mind particularly their great kindness. And what does the kindness and the compassion refer to in this verse of homage? It's due to their love and their compassion for suffering sentient beings, their wish to guide sentient beings to attain a state freed of suffering. It's with such a motivation that the Buddhas appear in this world, whether in the form of teachers or meditational deities. And with this in mind, he goes to refuge from the depths of his heart.
Dala jingi labdu sosa, tang halia, and he, Shelia, and Jiki, Sosuki Yamlin, Yahuya, and he, Denigi, Ma, Shenlia, Shengi, Semjingi, Dondale, Shendun Jualia, and the Jiki, Shenla, Pembeke, Jawa Geshimu, Drup Tuyada, and Denigi. Ni di shenlia pember to do shen semja tamjelia and pember yahoyaki lamiki jin the lamidam this getting a lia jin labroches jin lab to do conjugi nubi topi and azulia juataje and pember getchim to yada suzuki in a yamlendiki yahoyaki and do send and jin labroches groda ya so deep shiva.
And the fourth line, pray bestow your blessings upon me. So here, this fourth line is a supplication, a heartfelt request to his meditational deities and his teachers, requesting for their blessings. In other words, requesting that through the power of their attainments, the power of what they have achieved, may that inspire him so that he can spiritually develop himself in order to be of greater benefit to others, and moreover, he's requesting blessings that his beneficial activities are successful. So he's requesting for inspiration, for his own spiritual growth, so that he can be of ever greater benefit to others, and secondly, that his virtuous activities are of great benefit to others.
Chemin yu jeba gu yu me se re da che da me tin bi lu nga yusum yu jeba di ngan zo lo ko ha yo ma re se ko da ngan zo ko ha yo ma des ne 가르쳐야 고야 말하서는 최다 믿음 비교 류가 있으면 저와 뒤에 안솔이야 안에 체대리나 마키바 차야단 세계 치마이나 지금 동아요의 그 규리마도 규래 제가 디 안솔을 라신니가 뇌해지리 되어서 팬마도 하지 제가 디 안솔 고야요 말했어 최민이 줘봐 고규메 세대 최다 믿음 비교 류가 있으면 줘봐 된 안솔 고야요 말디 라는 매버서 고래서 그러다 최민이 줘봐 고규메스.
Now, looking at the second verse of the first line here, conduct contrary to the teachings has no use. So here, the author is saying quite explicitly that any behavior that we engage in, whether it's a physical behavior or a way of speaking, and certainly a way of thinking, if it's not in accordance with the Dharma, it has no use. It serves no purpose because it doesn't lead to happiness in this life, and it creates the causes to lead to suffering in our future lives. So therefore, any kind of activity, way of thinking, way of speaking that is contrary to the Dharma, it serves no purpose, it has no use.
직도 나케기 당하게 직되게 디수기 아니 라테네 라신니가라 체텔이네 라신니가라 아니 마키와 차야다 동아교야 규들이 안 세치마이나야 안디 디경아들 레겐바 안데부 동아교하시마도 요 말했어 지나다 류기 줘바이나 류기 줘바네 소줘바다 마침발렘바다 아니 지게 로엠 라서바 류유권에 샬레 네베 자와 제바이나 디 디네지르 라신니갈 체딜 섬다 라신니갈 뉴고레스 안 세치마 섬다베네 디 제보들 라신 마라줄야 강아요하시 제보 누가지마도 야가요하요 말레스 다 이이원에 베네 디르와 가소렘 낙심 뇌심 록다세야되게 디니기 샬레 네베 삼바이나 샬레 네베 삼베 삼바디기 젠라 뉴고 체딜서 라마기와 셴마기와 라진니가 강아티고레스 지난데 니기 제부 체치마 삼다베네 안가줄야 동아요야데 랭안바사 나솔라 끼네 동아용고야 차고레 지난 류가기 쳬바 최다 미팅비 쳬바 세데다 류가기 쳬바 딜레테네 아주 동아요야지 쳬바디 다 최다 미팅비 쳬바 니 아주 체딜 삼다이나 고야미도 세치마 삼다이나 고야미도 지상하는 쪽에 탈바다 탐제kim비 고방 리아 토마토바 바시 제겐디야 룽아 있으면 쥐바들이 샤스 지상 세치마리아 동아녀야 다가 나선게 돼 룽아 있으면 최다미디 룽아 쥐바들이 샤스 세델이나 뇌헨디 룽아 있으면 최다미디 룽아 있으면 쥐바들이 샤스 다디 자오기는 모호에들이 샤스 지상 모호에 자디 매와서 우도서 매 모고기 고야메서 모고에 디리 샤스보다
Contrary conduct to the teachings has no use. So this refers to, for example, acts of verbal acts of speech, such as lying to others, deceiving others, harsh speech, idle speech, and senseless speech. So engaging in activities, verbal activities such as this, or communicating in such a way, this doesn't bring about any benefit to self or others, not in this life, nor in future lives, in that in this life, through engaging in non-virtuous behavior, deceiving others, taking advantage of others, this doesn't create the causes that do lead to happiness in the future. Moreover, it directly brings unhappiness to others, harms our relationships with others, and thereby only brings suffering. And in dependence on the causes that we create through such behavior, we will suffer in our future lives. And this is, of course, the case also with our physical behavior. If we kill, if we steal, if we engage in sexual misconduct, no benefit comes from this. Harm in this life comes to ourselves as well as to others, and in dependence on these causes that we create, we will suffer in our future lives. And then with the motivating minds such as covetousness, harmful intent, wrong views, so harmful attitudes, harmful afflicted minds such as these too lead to no happiness for ourselves in this life, certainly not for others, and in dependence on these causes, we will suffer in our future lives. So this we need to understand clearly. We need to understand it to the degree that it has an impact on our behavior, on our way of thinking. And this comes about through seeing that such behavior only leads to suffering. And when these causes ripen in a rebirth, that rebirth is in the lower realms. So we need to understand that causes such as these, from lifetime to lifetime, are what cause us our suffering. Until we attain liberation, all the problems we experience come about in dependence on these causes. So therefore, we need to abandon all behavior or conduct that is contrary to the teachings.
And di goya mindu la ro da chi san ma go yumjen ga sa ngang zu gi dunga de gu yo ma ro chi san zu dunga mo go ya de chi san dunga mo go an sang dunga yo ya gu di de sol tin yung go re chi san dunga yo mo go ya za dunga yo ya gu di me go go ya yo ma so di se go da.
In brief, the reason that conduct that is contrary to the teachings has no use is because we don't want to suffer. And if we create these causes, we will suffer. So therefore, we need to abandon behavior that's contrary to the Dharma.
Sangye dang, Sangye Jumden di Zawi, Demba Sangye Jumden di Maha Zuki, Dunga Seya dang, Digi Jubheki, Lam, Duen Sheba, Demba. Denige Sangye Jumden di Duen Sheba, Diang, Lami, Lami, Zulia, and Ju to Yamneta to Shekore said, Gawa, Jutang, Dunga Setangi, and the Sun Sheba Nashin, Jiang, Yamnecheko Gores, Chesa. Digi Jubia da Dunga Sege, Tablang Sung Sheba Nashin, Jiang Zugi, Disuba, Tuabaji, and Dana some di Gom Yamlen Juku Gores, Chisan di Jubaina, and Digi Yungores, Chisan Chishin Jubar Chebalas, Chisan Chishin Jubar Chebalas.
Thus to act in accordance with the teachings. So this line very neatly follows on from the first, because the first line was saying, we don't want to suffer, therefore we need to abandon the causes for suffering. And the second line says, we all want to experience only happiness, and therefore we need to cultivate the causes for happiness. And the causes for happiness are, as it says here, to act in accordance with the teachings. In other words, we need to cultivate the mental paths that Buddha Shakyamuni taught to us. When Buddha Shakyamuni taught the complete and unmistaken path to achieving lasting happiness, these mental paths, these paths of virtue, these are what we need to cultivate. And it's these mental paths that we are coming to know now in dependence on our teachers. So therefore, we need to train our mind in accordance with the teachings. We need to train and develop our way of thinking in accordance with the teachings.
Dene inza chushin rubar cheba la sidu la dene gi ngang zugi sangye jumden de da sung shebe gi ane ge digi juya da dunga sege lam rimba sung shaba de ngang zu nyamlen ya wo cheba la gyön gare yung go ngang zu ya gare gyön go dene gi ya bo che ma tu ba di ngang zu gi gyön gare chung wa le 제가 아주 류하게 줘봐 냠는데 약보 매바디 최다 미진비 류하게 줘봐데 마 뽕고고 디뽕 마도 바지 다다 바도 하대요 그래 아주 최 냠는 다다 바도 약보 제마도 바디 가르 제바리 견제 람나 다딘 마 디스고래 셴바 시제게 담가사 시데 진짜 셴바 시세데 대 셴바 시단 제비기 제유 톤에 냠는 제기 담가지요레스 진짜 냠 셴바 시단 제유 톤에 네 제유 담가디기 녜제 디 톤에 냠는 제바 있나 아주 최 수준 죽투가지 연구레스 진짜 디네자 셴바 시제게 담가 살세도 담가 살랍니 년조시 년쇼시고 다가지 제가 신부시다 제비게 담가디 최 추준도 주발라 and the Shemba not do Damadi, and she is Kasai Charles in Yenroches or Yenroches or Dambo Shemba Shidel Dama Sal City.
What we've seen in these first two lines is that wanting to be freed of suffering, we need to abandon behavior that's contrary to the Dharma. Wanting to experience happiness, we need to act in accordance with the Dharma teachings. Then how to know what it is to be abandoned? And this is presented in the third line. There is the instruction on parting with the four clingings. So this is what is presented as the technique to identify what it is that we need to abandon, to gain clarity in what we need to abandon. So what we have here as there is this instruction. So more literally, it can be seeking the instruction on the four teachings, on the four clingings. So here, this is the instructions are about to be presented to those who seek them. And so that meaning is not so explicit in the English. But for those who seek the technique to identify what needs to be abandoned and what needs to be cultivated, that is contained in the instruction on parting from the four clingings.
Dan Devi Damadi, Chisun Jambe and Al Sunwari, Chesa Denigi Chisun Jambe and Alia Sunshipe Damadi, Nonga Chike Kyonze, Nensho said, Dama Sal says, Nensho said. Tisa, that in a Kyos Nyambaza, Nensho, didn't get she is Gora, De Chi to Solo Ki, sitting, Ni Kyonzulia, she is or that Benet, December Shidi, Gandichile Shemba she said, the Shemba Shidi, the Nichile Shemba she lavore. Chesa de Shemba she. Jane Gasoi, Dedan Jane, Yamlenjian Gandish, Di, Nima, she is, that is Jembe and Alia, Sunsha Gudi, Damadi, Ni, Consulia, she is, or the Kiki Yendo, Solo, Gi, said the Solo Senna, Nahi is, or Yendos and Consugi, Amchol Mani, my she is.
For those of you then who seek to understand what it is to be abandoned and what it is to be adopted, then to you I offer this teaching that came directly from Manjushri. So to you who are seekers, I offer to your very ears, this instruction on parting from the four clingings.
Sanye Chimkachizun Jembe Yangi, Nalia, Sunshebe, Tama, and Shemba Shireke, Tama, setting in Councilma, Sungins or the Sungins, and Yansho Sonrada. That in Zadana, that Shemba Shide Kare said that the Shemba Shi said the Kare, that Demba Shemba Shida, Java Lamna, Di Meva so Horisco Wachida, Nambo Shemba Shidi Kare, Sangazugida, Kare Lamna, Tisonre, Penechizun Jembe Yangi. Rimochelia and the Garson Vares and the Disungorvada Bene. Sedila Shena Chuba means, and then Koala Shena Mijung means, Daudon La Shena Jansen means, Zimbachuna Dawa means, all those in the Shidi that 6 Shidi, Chizun Jambe Yangi, and Lama and Chizun Java Rimochelia and Chizun Jambe Yangi Sumarwa.
What are these four clingings that one should part from or one should separate oneself from? So these then are presented in our third verse. If you cling to this life, you are not a practitioner. If you cling to the three realms, that is not renunciation. If you cling to self-interest, you are not a bodhisattva. If grasping arises, it is not the view. And this here are the four clingings that are to be parted from. This is what Manjushri taught.
Shemba Shidi Kare Lamna, Sedila Shemba, said Jikti, Sedila Shemba, said, and then Koala Shemba, or Koala Shemba. And then Daudun La Shemba, said the Rangdu, Daudun said Rangdu La Shemba. That's then Zimba Juna, Zimba said. Temba Zimba, Sigura. Di Shidila Shemba Shila Hore.
Di Shipa Yanka?
Temba Zimba. Denzi, Dazins Kansa, Dadu Juba Zimba, Kansa, Temba Zimba. Desola, De Dela, and Zimba Sigura. So Tsedi la shenpa chikche, kowa la shenpa de chikche, ane rang dungi samba, rang dadun la shenpa se, rang dungi samba shenpa se chikche, ane tenpa drupa tsimpa se chikche, di shi de la, ane shenpa shi la warda.
What are the four clingings then to separate oneself from, to abandon? So first is clinging to this mere life, clinging to this one life. Secondly, it's clinging to samsara. Thirdly, it's clinging to self-interest or to self-obsession, to a selfish intent, a selfish motivation. That's the third clinging. And the fourth is clinging at the self as being truly existent. So these are the four clingings to be separated from: clinging to this life, clinging to cyclic existence, clinging to a self-centered attitude, and clinging to the self as being truly existent.
That's Tsedi Shenpa said. Tsedi Shenpa de Yobaina Cheva means it. Che said Dilanzugi, Aniela Dissene, Niela, Dinesna, that these 6G Naloya, Anzugi, Sanyu Jumnanji, Sonship, Chu, Yamlan Chesa Dusavare, Dushire. Chisa Tsedi Shena, Shenpa the Banguri, Sevichu, Tisha, Digosu, Anzugi, Lamrum Shevana, Kibuchung Lamirim Washigore. Then Koala Shena, Nejung Mares, Nejung Marela Yadi, Tisuna Digi, Garsung, Kibu Drinki Lamjinam Yashigore. Daudun La Shena, Jansen Min Sedu, and Digi, Kibu Chimbe Lamiriba Shigore. Zimba Juna, and Nejung means Demba Zimba Yina, and Gasor, Tawa music, Zimba Juna, Tawa means Demba Zimba Yina. Tawayang Tapaki Marasidu, Di, Denigi Tawayang Top Mena, and Digi Lamde, and Bene Tarbig Topjigla, gave Jingle Lamia, Nala Rugure, gave Chimbe Lamirima Rugore. Sina Dinada, Lamrim Korashevaina, Gibu Chungi Lamirimba, and Jingle Lamiraba, Chimbe Lamirimba, Sunga Dusare. Sisa Dineza, and Azuki, Sanyigi, Sunyagi, Che, Sunyadi. Kokewa Chimalada Mugo Toya, Tarbada Toyata, Tamjaki Mugo Toya. Chisani choosing at the Tiro, Dimadoyama, Chichasan dinner, Dusa 16 Dusavar.
Having now seen what explicitly what the four clingings refer to, you will have already noticed that the entire Buddha Dharma is contained within this verse. The first line, if you think of it in the connection with the Lamrim and the way the Lamrim is divided, it will become very clear. So the Lamrim is presented in accordance with the beings of varying capacities. So a being of smallest capacity is a being who is striving for a good rebirth, and such a practitioner needs to abandon clinging to this life in order to achieve that goal. A being who's of intermediate capacities, a being who's striving to be liberated from samsara, a being who's striving for freedom, for complete freedom from suffering. So and that is referred to in the second line. So the second line refers to a being of intermediate capacity. Then a being who's striving to become a Buddha for the sake of all beings. That is such a being is striving to overcome their self-interest or their selfish intent, and therefore the third line refers to the being of greatest capacity. And the final line then, if grasping arises, it is not the view. This refers then to both beings of intermediate as well as greatest capacity, in that to achieve liberation and to achieve enlightenment, one has to attain the correct view. One has to attain a direct realization of emptiness. So therefore, the entire Buddha Dharma is included within this verse. If we think from the perspective of the beings of varying capacity, as well as their varying goals of a good rebirth, of liberation, and of enlightenment.
당 저기 최제 냠는 최냠는 제사디 아 저기 다가질에 기부 중요히 남기림바 냠는 제야들라 안에 개와 치마 타다 미고방 토비하게 돈도 돈이렇게 삼바께시 다지 하다 개와 치마 하다 미고방 토국도 삼바 니 군에라제 안에 나송레 타고도 나송레 타네 하다 미고방 토국도 삼바디 군에라제 아 저기 냠는 제대 가르선 진바 추짐 쇠바 전주의 냠는 제대리 니 냠는 제대 되네 냠는 제대를 기부 중요히 남기는 바시고라 나 되네게 딜레 하다 미고방 토바쯤에 지기 민도 답변에 다 개와 나송의 동화들에 타고도 나송 동화를 타마마다 탑민도 제사 탈백에 동화들에 탈백에 탈바세 톱고도 선백에 탈바 donye게 삼복군에 랑제 아주 냠는 제디 진배 냠는 수제 냠는 쇠배 냠는 쇠제 냠는 된 삼대 셰라 냠는 제바이나 아니 기부 징기 냠는 제게 최세 그래 나 랑세의 지그레 현선제 심전 타예바제 심전 탐제 랑나신 디기 되고요 동안 미디어바레 제산 심전 탐제 동안다 자고도 디기 주고도 디인자 네 심전 탐제기 되는 상여고바 토바지기인세 토바 쇼어세베 잔주심 게 잔주심기 군내랑위 도네 다 진비 냠네 수제냠네 쇠베 냠네 전주이 냠네 삼대 셰랍 다 디게죠 가르 주바이네 디차사 안에 되는 냠네 제야디 나 타파 침비게지 기부 침비기 남기 냠는 최식으로와 제가 군로들라 안에 군로 미저 숨예비 토네 디기 군로 토네 아니 냠는 제기 최들라 저 군로 제치 중 숨예 반사 디기 군내 라위 냠는 제들라 아니 최 기부 충유 최다 딩기 최 아니 첨부 최세지 안되네 진짜 되네기 디나네 직 냠는 제기는 안저기 취지기 오래서 그렇다 기부 최대 촌숨기 강한 용화지기 냠는 제거로 봐
A key point to make here when we think of the beings of three incapacities is to understand clearly what differentiates them. So a being of smallest capacity has attained the status of being a practitioner of the smallest capacity because they have come to generate a strong fear for falling into the lower realms in their next life. And due to this strong fear for falling into the lower realms, they're striving to accumulate the causes to achieve a rebirth as a human or a god. And those causes are training in the practice of ethics, of generosity, of patience, and joyous perseverance. A being that is suitable to be called a practitioner of intermediate capacity is a practitioner who, independent on having meditated on the same topics as the being of smallest capacity, and having also given rise to the wish not to fall in the lower realms, they have taken the meditation further and have come to realize that no matter where one is born within cyclic existence, no matter what state one attains, as long as one is still a samsaric being, as long as one is still bound within cyclic existence, one suffers. And here the realization is much more profound and leads them to strive to accumulate virtue to achieve liberation from samsara in its entirety. And they then engage in the same four practices of ethics, generosity, patience, and joyous perseverance, but also include concentration and the cultivation of wisdom, 6 practices. Then the being who is suitable to be called one of greatest capacity, independent on having successfully completed those prior meditations, they have taken their realization to a far more profound level by seeing that the suffering state of a samsaric being is true not just for me, but for all others, all other ordinary beings. And they, just like me, desire and long for freedom from pain. They long to be protected completely from ever having to fall into suffering states. And I am only one, and they are limitless in number. And thinking like this, they generate bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, the mind that commits to striving to attain Buddhahood for the sake of others. Then when that is generated within the practitioner, they engage in those same 6 practices that the being of middling or intermediate capacity engages in, namely ethics, generosity, patience, joyous perseverance, concentration, and wisdom. But they are now conjoined with bodhicitta. So the key point to make here is that there's not much difference in what is being meditated on, ethics, generosity, etc. The primary difference is the motivating mind. The primary difference, whether a being, it can be considered a being of smallest, intermediate, or greatest capacity, is not whether they are meditating on ethics, but, for example, but the motivating mind with which they are meditating on ethics, for example.
That the duation, Denmark, Rumia Sabana, Mother the Diamado, Tanse, Lega, Dumado, Mishandal Chilo, Lima, Mother Beacheta. And that Denmark, Bendigo about to draw some, then how to make some Madache, Bendigo about to draw some Picuno, Dinish Kitchen, Motte, Motadi, Down Trovine, Bendigo Ligre, then how to Marada, Bendigo Mother Litumare. Cesar, Tangazuki, Pen. Nyamlen di Jimbe Nyamle da and Bene Lunga Yusumgi, Nishu Sunyadi, Nyamlen Jigwa Rede, Ina Tangas Modata and Modern Mazatan Jigwa Rede, Chiloma Mado, Joe, some Guinea Mataven, Dien Duatan, Vegetan, Dumardo, Chiloma Jotumara, died Motajoa. And Dinashi, the Mota, the Tangi, Bendigo about the draw some, the Tangche, Kuno Digi, Bendigo some draw, some Yoba Inza. The dance in the Bendigo Padu to Gure, then Padu Maldarwa. That in the Jigi Kuno Digi, Tarings or then Mata, Bendigo Ma Gage in Ma, and Chimelon Badu draw some big some Shena, Mother Taji Maniba Ligri, Duro, Maniba Ligua. On Daya Samotilia, teaching Mother Taji, Melon Pa Gage and Pangadish and that Padu, some Shuvena, Chimora Taji, Pangadish and Padurua. She said, Daya Motor, the Jigwa Rede. Some Guno Tone, Kaya Dume dea Dugin Sabi Chiloga, some Guinea Matavan, Mother D in the Bijetan, Digorwa. Chisata then master was some beginning, Mother the past, Guno the past, Tarings to Yobaza, Tarings legal. Chisam Gunung is some Kazeba to Yoba, the Mother the Tanjan to water. Dia Mother Chipare. In a Gunungi, some Taring no Tone, such a Mama little girl. On dinner, she answered Luna Yisumi, Sunya di Jackson Bashebada. And the Jew Casore, Kumamakuata, and the Monsieur, and the Jig Loimje, Suya Digi, Suya Jigare, Sidigi Digilas, some Daje, Suaina, Sechimigi, and Ekasore, Gewachimagi, Tubiagi, Chechago Mare. That Gewachimagi, the nigger Suya, Gewachima, Hadami go on some Tobiaga, some Bataje, Dinigi, Jimba Suena, and Gewachima, Hadami go on to a Pandu Worma, the Tarbada Tamje Kimbeto, Yuchego Mare, a Guno del Dimad Meras. Takuno de Dilla Tarings or Tarba Togu Sempi, Tarba Tobiag Donda in some Jimba Sujan Soba, Yamne Chevaina, Guno de Tarba to the Yobanza, Yamne Jed Jibare, the Ina, Kotarba to be Yuchego Chatu Bore. That dinashi, Kuno de Simjan Tamji, San Yoko Toba Jing Sibu Kuno di Yovena, Kuno di Yamin Jed, Jimba Sujan Soba, Loss of Rete, Kuno di Wangi, and Yamiko, San Yoko to be Chatu Bore. Just that Yamin Jed Jigwa in there, Kuno Gachishung Tone, Yamlin Jedi, Yamlin Jegi, the Yamlin Nuba Church Chautua. The Shipin Hajim, Kuno, Moderna Jigwa in there. Kuno delia, Tarin store, some Yobanza, Modern Beja, Tarin, Letudua, and Bedin Ajinjivaredua.
This can be made very clear through an analogy. So let's say at home, you've got really a very impressive car. It's large, it's powerful, it's reliable, and it's sitting in your garage. But if it just remains in your garage and you don't use it at all, it's not going to ever leave your property. But if then, after admiring your car for a while, maybe making it very shiny, you finally pluck up the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to go explore Bendigo in my lovely car, and off you go. Now you've generated a stronger motivation to drive as far as Bendigo. But that is as far as you go, and then you return to the safety of your home. Then after some time, you decide, actually, I hear Melbourne is quite delightful, and I've got this fabulous vehicle, why don't I put it to use? And one then goes off in the car to Melbourne and explores the delights of the city, and then returns home. Then after perhaps having done such a trip several times, one thinks, you know what? I'm really now going to go and see the greater Australian countryside, and I'm going to drive everywhere around this nation. And one does. What differs here is not the vehicle, it's the same wonderful car. It's a motivating mind. If the motivation is, doesn't matter, then the car stays in the garage. If the motivation is kind of weak, one only goes 20 kilometers down the road. If one has a stronger motivation, one will go 150 kilometers. If one has a vast motivation, one will travel the breadths of this continent. So this is just like a Dharma practitioner, or just like a student of the Dharma, perhaps. If a student of the Dharma is merely thinking about the happiness of this life and overcoming problems of this life, they can be likened then to the person who leaves this fabulous vehicle in their garage and doesn't put it to much use at all. Whereas if that same person develops a stronger motivation and a stronger motivation through coming to understand the ripening results that come about in dependence on causes that have created, and therefore decide, I will live an ethical life. I will not lie, I will not steal, I will not engage in sexual misconduct, I will not bring harm to others. Because I'm fearful of the real possibility of falling into the lower realms, then those virtuous activities will lead to the accumulation of causes to good rebirths, not in the lower realms. But if the same Dharma practitioner meditates further and develops a wish to be freed from cyclic existence in their entirety, they will still engage in cultivating the mind that will not kill, that will not steal, that will not engage in sexual activity, harmful speech, or harm others in any way. But now, with this much stronger motivation, these become causes to attain liberation. And through further meditation, if they generate the aspiration to become a Buddha for the sake of others, then that same commitment not to bring harm into the lives of others becomes causes for enlightenment. So here are the meditation of ethics and the various components, say not killing, not stealing, and so forth. These causes lead to results, but what those results are have a direct correlation to the motivating mind. We can express it that the boundary of one's motivation sets the boundary of the ripening result of our virtue.
Tsedigi digi tsam dan, tsedigi di tsam ji digi tuya dan, tsedizam yu dunga sehegi samlo ya shen de shen zin tuya ina, ane shen ba ina, ane di che nga zogi kiwu chungyu che nyamlen che dan, dingi che nyamlen che ba dan, kiwu chimbi nyamlen che nyamlen che ba chagiwa ma le zhoro. Dizan tsedila shen na che ba tsedila shen se tsedigi di tsam ji digi tuya dan, tsedizam dunga sehegi ya shen tuya ba se. Tanga zo shen ba la biyo do tanga zo ki kisi nga zo da di shenpa se di su xingyo so le xingyo le jingyo da ga ji ruwa jingba shenpa se da ji zang an ju ge xin lo xie ba na xin ma yu da yu jian yi se xie ga de da xian yu de ga le ne ce di gi di gi da ce di gi dunga de le dunga se ya de yu xia go de ji zang da to pa di ga ju xian se de ce di gi zhu ye ge dan ze gi zhu ya da ce di dunga de zam mi zam le pa xian se de 短期dan这呢，那真的把的了先把啥地方就这些活的，只当先把些的。
lorik de yang kya sang.
就是lorik的地方这个，可是鱼的鱼见是这个话，就是鱼的个人那那的先个鱼的个人那彻底怎么的的，彻底怎么动画写的，动画的没法说动画写的鱼下过动画的，我的鱼的。 就是第二呀，俺这个路，俺那个地主要给短大的，地车地给地怎么动啊？谁个路的先对吧？对了，那先把车地怎么先把是，车地来先把这个地是我的，而且先把是对的。地家车地地主要的，车地怎么动啊？谁的车地怎么地主要地怎么上对吧？上把我的，俺这。 先把马真的路爬上吧，啊，上不到来，地块对吧？是不是？他先把那对多把一个爬先把那先把先是对多把个先把的了，多把先把那个的，先那对他短期之间这呢，个先把人家先把是我的。
What is so a person who is striving to achieve the happiness of this one life, who is striving to overcome the problems and difficulties of this one life, such a person cannot even be called a being of smallest capacity, let alone a being of intermediate or greatest capacity. And this is due to them clinging to the happiness and the achievement of happiness and elimination of suffering of this one life. So we can understand this then through the topic that we've been looking at over the past month, which is of lodik, of awarenesses and knowers. So you'll remember this topic was divided into objects and object possessors. So the object is the happiness of this mere life and the elimination of suffering of this mere life. That is the object. The object possessor is an awareness, and awareness is this mind of clinging, or a mind of grasping. And here, the mind of the practitioner is clinging at the mere happiness of this life, clinging at the need to eliminate suffering, but just of this life. So this mind of clinging is a conceptual consciousness, and its bound in its boundary in terms of its perspective is just this one mere life. So it's a very narrow outlook, a very narrow mind.
其实当我们彻底来先把了呢，彻底给地基怎么主要的，彻底给东啊怎么写了，地怎么的上大这样这个两个看了前面呢，到底给我这个给我前面的主要告诉给我。 충분히 아니 최제바 책임만 최고 말에 지사 개부 챔피언 책임만 개부 등교 책임 말에서 당한 저 뒤로 하다 배나 저기 저게 체디기 디기 좀 주야다 체디기 동화 좀 세야야 저기 수트면 송고로 와배네 오당아 구마라 잡아이나 아니 알이야 녀바 포그링아 전강 루레세야다 미기 되니체네 아니 저기 구마마 잡아체 구마 마고 구마 송야다 오당에디 미스야다 되니체베나 알이야 녀바 포그레 알이야 강아 지기레 세비 세딜이야 강아 지기레 세비 디섬 삼다 제가 망아체기다 아주 지단에 다 점래 나라 미디기 하나 저기 되는 송야 되게 망아체디 디섬지 삼지 송고로 봐 디나 개와 치마 삼다가 뭐 세델이야 말 강아 체기리 세델이야 말 동아용 거래 세델이야 예시 포그레 삼지 디섬다 제가 저기 송고로 봐다 되네 참 근데 류마게 제가 손야 되게 양 저기 주인시야 당 측수시야 어당아 측수시야의 견제 제반에 권주게 가그 말에서 권주가리 안지 수 견제지기래 생활이야 약문도 미 견제지기를 삼비 세디게 삼다 되네 삼다 제가 저기 류마게 제가 손야 되 용거래 이내다 뒤서 지당 약보래 돼 이내랑 저기 뒤 굴로들에 제가 치마게 삼는 매바자 세디 잠지 삼다와자 룽아기 비중 베네 냐바 도미아다 아네지게 류기 속죄 발라서 도미아디게 돈바레데 이나야 니케와 치말 하다 미고 판도 유체가 말아서 군로들 케와 치말게 삼나 요 말면서 세디기 강아 체기를 삼배 삼르지 데니시마도 메바레 메반자 최야다 바 체가 말레시리
We're talking here about clinging to this life, clinging to the mere happiness and clinging to eliminating the mere suffering of this life. So let's then look at what this means and explicitly why we're using this term mere. So that here we can look at the way, the motivation of most people in this world. Most people are striving with every activity that they do to achieve happiness and to overcome, to avoid suffering. But they are doing so within the confines of an outlook that is limited to this one life. They will, for example, not kill someone because they don't want to receive problems in return in this life. They will not lie or steal or speak harshly to others because of the potential pushback to themselves, the problems that they will receive in return in this one life. So what we see with the vast majority of people is whilst they are restraining or refraining from non-virtuous activities such as killing, for example, because their motivation is merely to avoid suffering in this life or merely to achieve happiness in this life, this is not Dharma practice, even if they are not killing. And it's not creating causes for future happiness. So this is so such a practitioner, so such a person, if they are someone who aspires to be a practitioner of the Dharma, they are not yet suitable to even be called a being of smallest capacity.
신나 최바 민세다 다들라야 당보 다디시오라 당보 세딜레 신나 최바 민세 쯧 다디니자 맨나 최야고 책면은 세딜레 신비 신바디 아니 간스 레사드마 제시겨고 다데네 당보 세딜 마신바스 마시 세딜레 마신바치 고고리에서 제가 세딜레 마신바 세딜레 마신바시도 대징아 세딜레 신바라는 세디기 동아세나 세디기 디기 두비에 삼 디잠다되바들레 체딜레 셴바세오라 다 체딜라 마셴발라도 당아 저기 겨와치마 다 체딜데 겨와치마에 딘다등이 다들 직디바체바네 겨와치마가 아니 나손을 기기래 나손을 기나 강아요래 제가 나손을 타고 고도사다 다등이 륜아의 권에 줘봐두제 저능이 아니 지금 랑이네 디바사 미션레 디바사 사주 진안 차사 겨와치마랑 나손 기제 강아치게 제가 디니자 겨와치마 나손도 겨워 먹어 제고도 나손을 타고도 삼다제 아니 디삼당 고래시 디니네 겨와치마 나손을 타고도 제가 디니 인자 디니게 삼다들 체딜라 마신 바서 체딜라 마신 바고 그랬어요 체 당보 체딜라 마신 바스
the first half of the first line, if you cling to this life. So clinging to this life here, what it explicitly means is clinging to the happiness of this life, clinging to the need to eliminate suffering of this life. So it refers to the happiness and suffering of this life, rather than being focused on the achieving of happiness in future lives and the elimination of suffering in future lives. So what's differing here is not a wish for happiness and a wish to be freed from suffering, but in terms of the boundary that one sets oneself. When here, to abandon the clinging to this life means to have a scope that is far broader than this one mere life, but to be focused on our future lives. Be aware that, for example, I must refrain from harming others in any way, because that creates the causes that when they ripen will lead to my rebirth in the lower realms. Moreover, when I harm others, their response to me is likely also to be non-virtuous, and therefore they too will create the causes to fall to the lower realms. So therefore, so as to abandon, or to avoid suffering in my future lives and avoid enabling others to create causes for suffering, I must abandon non-virtue. So here the act of abandoning is the same, but the motivation is far broader. Hola. Sultan dan Chöpa.
체디 셴바이나 체디 셴네 냠네 제데 가르스네 그는 아주기 진비에 냠네 가서 추림 진바다 추림라서베 냠네 제야다 안 퇴섬 곰숨 가르체베네 되네 체디게 삼다 제바이나 아니 최야 이 차고 말해서 되네 제데네자 파디바 마제 샤쇼서 추림나 퇴섬 곰바 숨 체디레 미네 주바데 최바메 요쇼라쇼스도.
Now we come to the fourth verse. So first, not clinging to this life, and that's what Genla has just explained. Ethical discipline, study, reflection, and meditation. He who pursues these for this life's sake is not a practitioner, so cast these aside.
세디게 삼다 세델양알이야 강아 체기리 세델양알이야 미느긴 체기리 삼제 아니 세델양아 강아 체기 삼삼다 나쟁한 주 융아 유숨기 추림로 소베이나야 니죄던바 이나야 안디 개와치마 타다미고 바토비 규책 말에 아니 죄책과 말에 탈바다 탐제kimbe 토비기 죄책과 말에 지산 추림수와레 돼 이나야 안디디 기부 숨길 아니 최강야 차고 말해서 제가 되네 인자 아니디 최최고 말이지 다 되네 양쪽에 지게 퇴바 최지위에서 퇴바지 안 된다 삼단교에서다 퇴공부 공냠는 지위에서 해야 돼 세디게 삼다지 소슬이 오다 나이 직최지 쉬세 쉬베네게 망부시 싱그레 내서 망부 싱그레 싱바나 니샤래 셴년 마량아 오호 빼게라 침부 차이 마게라 침부 차이게 된다라 안 두싱이 직 진이 최 퇴야다 최 지기여서 되네 군로 되네 계제 마저 쉬쉬야다 안 되네게 된다되게 쉬쉬네 된다데 삼다 어떤 이지 직삼로 다시 된다 디레스디 마직 직 시위에서야지 매직 되니기 시바이나 오고 신샤 배 개발해서는 소수게 담냐다 야보령 그래 삼제 되네 삼다 어당아 곰자고여서 당이 지지지고에선 미 고곰자고에 배야고 열서 미 담냐다 요하다 두스체네 소수기 세디게 삼다제 지기 추림수야다 진비에 냠낸 제아로다 진바다야로다 은지기 최최슈야라 소바다 대지기 도낭이 섬구에 곰자고여선 소소께다 영야다 소소 담냐다 영야다 소수게다 아직 튕기는 라야게 돈달라 되니게 삼다시 세디기 디기를 삼다바이나 주야디 제디 다 최야라고 차고 말디 최마인바 최다 미튼바데 최마레 해서다 같이 기부 중요 최야 말에 진교 최야 말에 기부 침비 최야 말에 세디점데 판도 되었지 연구리네 개와 되니게 개와 치말 나선미게 탈기 말에 판도 말에 타다 미고 바토야 돼 파기 말에 타바토비야 핑기 말에 사유고 바토비 최야 차고 말디네 이제 디파 삼로타이 디파 샤쇼서 쇼라 쇼서 디네 삼 마당서 디 지교 말해서는
Yeah, we in this verse we're being advised very strongly to look at our motivation and make sure that we eradicate wish for results in this life from engaging in activities which outwardly seems virtuous. For example, if one guards one's ethics, and for example one doesn't kill, one doesn't steal and so forth, but one does so merely because one doesn't want to experience problems in this life. We know certain acts are illegal and so forth. With such a motivation, this guarding of one's ethics doesn't lead to the causes of a good rebirth, of liberation and enlightenment, because of a fault in the motivation or the weakness in the motivation. And similarly, if one comes and receives many teachings, studies very hard, knows a lot of things, has within one's motivation a wish to be respected for all one's knowledge, a wish to be well spoken of, a wish to be held in high regard because of all the teachings you can say that you've received, or the expansive knowledge that you may well have. But such a polluted motivation means that one is not creating causes for liberation and enlightenment. And similarly, if someone is engaging in meditation and doing so with the motivation of, well, I hope people know that I'm motivating. I'm going to certainly tell people about that I'm meditating. And I'll do so because I expect others to impute many good qualities on me and to praise me. Here again, one's motivation is polluted. And this applies specifically, as we see here, to study, reflection, and meditation, but so too to any spiritual practice, whether that of generosity or any kind. If the motivation is to achieve some happiness in this life, to overcome some problems in this life, or to receive respect from others, if one practices generosity through creating a connection with someone, maybe they'll help you more in return. This way of thinking is contrary to the Dharma, and such activity cannot be called Dharma activities because of the faulty motivation. So while some benefit will come in this life, the benefits that one really needs, which is good rebirth, liberation from suffering and enlightenment, this is not going to come about. So therefore it's been strongly pointed out here to look at our motivation and be clear that our motivation, or ensure that our motivation is not tainted by clinging to this mere life.
ane tsurim sayade nga zo kan sunga zo gewa chima hada mi ko ba to ba nga song le tar ko nga song le ma ta na ta minu samje ta nga song le tar je hada mi ko ba to gu du sambi gi kunlo de ni sam da je nga zo gi tsurim so wa ina lunga yisum ni je de tsurim mi ge ju bong ko tsurim de ge so wa ina ane tomar tsurim she zan de ni ge tsurim di de la de ne ane gar du tu ko resene 털이 주변에 짜와지에서 털이 하다 미고만 또 유디래서 그러다 제가 개와지만 하다 미고만 토고도 있고 나선들에 탈고도 나선들에 마타나 탑 민도 선비 나선들에 타낼 하다 미고만 토보 얘기 된더니 돈돈이르제 아니 류가이스 오당이 류가이스 예제되게 마선 바이나 안 디바사 개와지만 나선을 끼도 그래 대대배사 그래 삼제 되니게 아니게디 류가이스 예제 손야다 당이 류가이스 예제 마도 바이는 샬리아 아니 주콘르게 하다 셴 안둥아스 쳔나 콘주에 콘르게 량아 바사 콘주네 개와지만 나선을 끼도 그래 제사 되니에서 나선들 라신이가 나선을 끼 규차도 제사 되니에서 류가이스 예제되게 지금 마도 바이는데 개와지만 나선을 끼사래 제사 되늘 하다 미고 투투사 말 대자 하다 고바 마도네 배사사래 삼지 되니게 군노 되니게 제 류가이스 예제되면 수름 소와이나 되니게 수름 수에 수름디다 토리주베 자와제스 자와시는 규식고래 제가 하다 토리 하다 미고 와도 비기 규식고래 제래
지금 니 색성
토머 수련 시자나 토리주베 자와제스지.
Now looking at the fifth verse, the first two lines, first to explain ethical conduct, it's the root of higher transmigration. Here the person needs to engage in reflection on what is being experienced by beings who are born in the suffering realms. Those with the misfortune to be born in those suffering realms experience limitless suffering. And through reflecting on that, then one understands that is not a state that one would wish to be born into. And then one thinks about, so how does one attain the causes not to be born there, but rather to attain a good rebirth as a human or a god, what we have here as a higher transmigration, which is a good rebirth of a human or god. That is the practice of ethical discipline or ethical conduct. It's through cultivating an ethical outlook, through developing a mind of ethics, which is a mind of restraint. That is through developing this mind of restraint or an ethical outlook. It is that ensures that we don't physically engage in unethical acts or verbally engage in unethical acts, because our mind is ethical. And so here in these meditations, one goes through various unethical activities, physical or verbal ways of thinking, and thinks about the ripening result that comes from them, leading to commitments that, for example, when the mind of anger arises, I must be sure to refrain from acting under its influence. When I notice my mind is annoyed and frustrated, to be vigilant, because now I'm in danger of contravening my ethics. Now I'm in danger of causing harm to others. And if I engage in physical or verbal activities that bring harm to others, not only am I creating the causes that lead to suffering in future lives, but I am creating a condition by which others may well respond in a harsh manner to me, and they too end up creating causes for suffering in their future lives. And meditating like this leads one to develop an ever stronger ethical outlook, an ever stronger mind of restraint.
And in Tarbadrubi temgages, Tarbadrubi temgages, Dungapoe, Nyambogens. Says Tarbadrubi temgages, the Chudum Soya Dada, Son Dile, Targodus, Matana, the Tabminus and Biggie, Takiwachima, Son Dile Mikiwa Cheo, the D. Dundalachesa, Lunga is Nichu, Dungo to Simbi Chudum Soina, the Nigi Chudum Sunwa Tela Dene, that Tarbatoya, Nijun Galia. Pingore, Nijun Yahuch Gevala, and the Nigi Tarba Toyag, Tobi, Tabo Drueg, Dondala, Nijun Gewa, Nijun Gombala, Nambo, and Gewa Chima, Ansol Migi, Targo the Sambigi, Dele Tardugi, Sambi, Gunelaji, Sujum so much go words, Chisum words, the Deniza, and Deni Suadi, Tabo Druelia, and Nijun Gala Pingores, Chisan Tembe Naji, Genzaran. Gambo Omadi, Shahaji Gala, Zawa, Dinashi, Temgage answered by Genzenaji Resor.
And the third line is the staircase to liberation. So here, the author is pointing out another quality of ethical conduct. So through developing the mind of ethics based on reflecting of the suffering of the lower realms, one generates the commitment to not create the causes to fall into the lower realms. And this wish to act ethically because of not wanting to fall into the lower realms is the first step on the staircase to liberation. So there's commitment, there's commitment to strive to ensure that one does not fall into the lower realms. That is the first step on the staircase of attaining the mind of definite emergence. And that is the meaning of our third line.
Dunga Tadale Targudu, Korea Dunga Tadale Tarne, Tarje, Tarbige, Tarba Topudu, Sempige, Samuel Shukchemba Gewala, Dunga Yangasung, Dunga Le Targudu, Sempige, Samuel Shukchemba Chungores. Chesa Dini Inza, Koe Dunga Tadale Tarbe Chidu, Sudim Suyala, and Nasung Dunga Le Tarbige, Tarduge, Sambi Kune Laji, Sudim Suach Kogores, Dini Suach Mebaina, and the Korea Dunga Tadale. Targut Sempige, some little mare, Chizmebanza, and Delia, Koyudunga, Tadala, Tarvichu, Suma, Yakala Kapure. Denizam, Koyudunga, Tada, Bombi, Nyembo, Dame, to be shed up, Yamne Nyembo de Yavala, Koyudunga, Guen, Tada, Bombi, Guen, Monjigi, Nyembo, Dame, to be shed up, Yavalaya, and Sutimti, person, Narsonle, 거기 가서는 탈되게 선비 군에 라비기 수준이 마송바 있나 동아 타달라 뽕이 님보 다음에 봐도 비셔도 기도 말해서 진짜 되니기 인자 디 가서 동아래 탈되게 선비 군에 라지 류가 있으면 예주 덤비 수름디 시디 냠래 약고 제발 내가 때네 가서 동아래 탈되게 선비 예중 기야다 안데 안지게 동아이 님보 다음에 봐도 비셔도 계hala 아니 레라 용거를 진짜 당보 지수 계발라 나서 동할라 타도게 선비 군내라지 수림 소에 야고지 맞아 봐야나 제수 차상 용통 말해서 원단다.
It's the staircase to liberation. It's the antidote to suffering. So here, the author is showing us the benefits and the necessity, really, of ethical conduct. And this is because without ethics, one will only suffer. If one does not lead an ethical life, that means one is going to create causes for suffering. If one is unethical, those causes only result in suffering. And that suffering will be most probably experienced in the lower realms, but if one attains even a high realm rebirth, one will still experience problems and difficulties. So if one lacks ethics, one only creates the causes for suffering. The suffering that we experience now and in other rebirths comes from our own negative karma. So if one has reflected on the sufferings of the lower realms and reflected to the extent that it has had a transformative impact on our way of thinking, we will want to lead an ethical life. And by leading an ethical life, that ensures that we're creating the causes for good rebirth. And through having a good rebirth, such as we have in this life, we then can actually train to attain higher goals. We can develop qualities and skills within us. Because if one has done reflection on the suffering of the lower realms, the suffering of the so-called happier realms, and come to an intellectual understanding that cyclic existence is pervaded by suffering and therefore one should be liberated from suffering. But this understanding remains weak. It does not yet have the strength to transform one's mind. One will not have the sufficient conditions to develop wisdom. One will not be able to develop the wisdom realizing emptiness. And that is because of all the causes for suffering that one has accumulated through a lack of ethics or through being unethical. So therefore those who don't guard ethical conduct, not only do they have no hope for liberation from cyclic existence, they have no hope to develop the wisdom understanding selflessness, nor even of a good rebirth.
Dina Shinda, Nijun Kimatoban, Koala, never doing Nijun Kimatoban, Semjan Tamjo Korea Dunga Tadala Dredge, Sanji Kovan, Top Kudu Sembegi, and Jaju Semdia, K2 Mares, Yamnechi 2 Mares. Chisa, Tanganju Tarbi Yamlenja, Tabatoya Chidin Yamlenja, and Sanji Kovan to which the Yamlenja, and Chazan Yamle Yapo Yala, Dabo Korea Dunkasa, Masungu Dunga, Tarduga Samba. Shukchimbo Yakush Kuris, Chisan D. Tarduga Sambi Sumbe Gunia Laje, Surimlunga is Nijitim, Sudim Yakush Yomba in Delatene in Hejun Yaku Yonada. Delatene and Jamnije, Jajusem Gilekituya. Dineza Dambo Corona, Naso Dungala Tarduga Sambi Geje, D. Tony Surimlunga is Nijitim, Surim Suaj Mebaina, Hejun Yakuki to Mare, and the Jamni Kitumar, Hejun Yakuki Madonna. And Janjusim Kitu Mare, Chisa Tabachim, Yamnaja Ragmare, and Gibudingi Yamnaja Ragmare, Chisa Dinisa, 기부 중요기 삼백이 냠는 제대 당보 될래 로장제 냠는 제고 디 맞아봐 기부 등당 기부 첨비 라면 냠는 제가 냠는 제두 말레스 송거다
The mind of bodhicitta, this beautiful mind that strives to lead all beings to a state freed of suffering, such a mind to arise depends on the prior development of a powerful wish to be liberated from cyclic existence. And that prior wish for liberation from cyclic existence depends on ethical conduct. So there's a correlation between these various major attainments or major paths, mental paths to be cultivated. If there's no definite emergence, if a practitioner has not developed the mind of definite emergence or renunciation for suffering, no genuine bodhicitta can be developed. And it's important to understand this correlation clearly, because if the practitioner themselves hasn't given rise to a sincere wish to definitely emerge from the sufferings of samsara themselves, if they haven't given rise to sincere wish to be freed of suffering in its entirety, there's no way they can develop bodhicitta, because there's no way they can develop a genuine wish, not only for all others to be freed of suffering, but to lead them to that state. So therefore, bodhicitta comes about in dependence on the prior cultivation of definite emergence. And this mind of definite emergence itself, this only comes about through reflecting on the sufferings of the lower realms and giving rise to wish to practice, to guard one's ethics so as not to fall there. And then on that basis, one can reflect on the sufferings that pervade cyclic existence and give rise to the mind of definite emergence. And on that basis, one can reflect on the sufferings of all beings and give rise to bodhicitta. So there is a definite continuity between these practices, where one reflects on the sufferings of the lower realms, giving rise to the commitment to live an ethical life, to have a mind that is dominated by an ethical outlook, and based on that, one becomes a being of small capacity, and then can develop it further to a mind of true definite emergence, becoming, having a mind in accordance with the being of intermediate capacity, and develop that further into the mind of bodhicitta itself, and becoming a being of greatest capacity. So there's a certain or a definite stream in realizations here, starting with ethical conduct.
Tsurimla meta midugde so jazan tsurim sayade sonye de mena ta mena da kibu chungyu lamji rimba nyamlen che midu jazan kibu ringi lamni nyamne je tu midu cheche tu kibu chimbi cheche tu jazan tsurim sayade bena ngason gi dunghale targodu samje de ngason dunghale tarbi dan targo de zange lunga yisumni nyeje domgi sebe tsurimdi masoba ina da 데니게 수림도 소야디 당아주게 개와치마 하다미 고반토에 델 송투구도 델라 때네 예주에 투구도 델라 때네 안 자주스메 투구도 지금 데니게 수림 마송바 있나다 안 데니 차상 용하야미도 지금 수림디 냠네 제메는데 탑메바치레샤스 잉야바도 당아주게 가소리 최제할야 냐바도 디 수림도 송고야디 개침부슈레서다.
The first line in the sixth verse. So you cannot succeed without ethical discipline. This is a vital point and needs to really be emphasized, that one cannot succeed in any of one's dharma objectives without the foundation of ethical conduct. One cannot attain the mind of a being of smallest capacity and therefore not even that of intermediate or greatest capacity. Or to put it differently, without ethics, one cannot generate bodhicitta. One cannot generate definite emergence. One cannot even get a good rebirth. So therefore, ethical conduct is essential.
다 쳔베 시나네 식제 당보 디기 다 세디기 돈나 자자 동아세야다 디기 주야 세디기 디zam기 디기 주야다 세디zam기 동아세게 삼단제 안아주기 내가 가르쳐비나데 최야다가 최고 말해서 안아주기 저기 퇴바 제바이나다 수rim소와이나다 내지 진배념len 제반 공격이라비네 최상 최야다가 최고 말해서 지상 개와 지말하다 미고 방토비규야 책이 말해 타바토비규야 책이 말해 최 조두고 말해 아니 산조고 방토비 최야 차두고 말해서 다 되네 가르쳐고래 랍나 세디기 디기점 세디기 동안서 세야점 마산바체 세치마 담 융달량 융나다 셈제 탐제 네고 산유고바 토비 치도 아니 류가 있으면 이제 동기 세비게 삼다제 류가 있으면 이제 dom야다 아니 가지 진바다 추준 수배 냠내 제야데 군로도 심마선 셈제 탐제 동안 자야다 셈제 탐제 디기 주에 치도 산유고바 토비 치도 인셈비 군로 디게제 제바이나 세디점이 동가 마삼 디기섬고 말 셈제 탐지기도 나 삼당고로 디네 인자 디네 냠내 제바이나 군로딜리아 셈제 탐지기도 나 산유고바 토바 지긴 전주심비 군네 라지 군로 디게장 저 수르링아스 예주던 배 수르다 진바다 가르 제베네 냠는 디제고레스 디네 제바이나 캬바 침비게 아주 최 갸침보차 산유고바도 규체고레 그시 디네기 냠는 제제 세델리아 산유고바 토마토바 이나야 겨워치 마사다 미고바 토고레 제자 네기디 나가서 최제고 버라고 디삼당고레스 다 셈제 탐지기도 나 삼다마토바 이나야 다 코르위 둥하딜레 타고도 설베 타바도니 삼바치 삼다제 타바도 마토나 타면 코르위 둥하딜레 타르체 뇨모버 빵베 타바서 토고도 디던달 양이 토비 치도다 룽에 예주던 바다 추름소야다 쇠복고 디체드 인삼제 군로디네 삼다지 냠는 제바 있나 타바토비 규체고래 지산 냠는제 데니게 세델야 데니 냠는제네 세델야 타르고 고바 토마토바 있나 개와치마 안하다 미고바 토그래 지산 디 때네야 저기 냠는제하고 그러기래 해서 다 데니게 탈비기 짬랑 삼다마토바 있네 아니 가sam도 개와치마 안송라 마기와치 제고도 안송라 겐데다 누가냐데 강아 시우레 신안송들 타고도 선배 삼로 예제 데네 안송들 타네 개와치마 하다 미고바 토바 지고도 대인장에다 류가 있으면 예주던 바다 수림소야다 아니 진발라서 바냠네 제디 지긴 삼제 데니게 군노야 라지 냠네 제바이는 개와치마 아니 개고 중요한 남기를 마차고 데네 인장한 저기 데니게 냠는 제바디기 개와치마 하다 미고바 토투그레스 지난 데네자 삼로로 마소나 가지고 냠네 계획 간에 두베네 군노 디숨보지 딱 약쇼 전주 셈제 디마조나 녜중체 안딜레 마조나 다 개와치마 하다 미고바 토비 셈비 군냐나 냠네 제고레스 지난 데니 제바에는 세디점니 삼는 거 말에 지난 데니 자디 최샤고레스 월 기부 중이 딩다 침비에 남기리 맺냐면 최샤로 그래서 데니 제고레스 뭐 디링 게다 손야디게 디숨고로
So to summarize what we've been looking at tonight, the key points is that if our mind stays obsessed by achieving happiness of this mere life and overcoming this life's mere problems, then whatever practices of the Buddha Dharma that we engage in, whatever those virtuous practices are, they aren't genuine practices of the Buddha Dharma. They do not lead to the cultivation of causes that lead to a good rebirth as a human or God, or liberation, or enlightenment. So the key point that is being made here is the need to look at one's motivation. The need to look at one's motivation, because it's independence on one's motivation, that same activity will lead to a particular result. So as we heard in the illustrations earlier, it's not the practice of ethics or generosity, etc. that changes, it's a motivating mind. So that is what we need to look at with honesty. And through our reflections and coming to know ourselves ever better, try to generate a wish of the attitude of the Mahayana Dharma, an attitude that I will refrain from any harmful activity. I will ensure I don't bring any harm to others, and where I can I will benefit them, so as to create the causes for enlightenment for myself and all beings. And expand on this and then everything that one does will create the causes for enlightenment. Or if that's difficult to generate in a way that feels sincere and genuine for oneself, then try give rise to the wish to be freed of the sufferings of the lower and happier realms. Try give rise to the wish that sees the entire samsara is pervaded by suffering, and then commit that all my activities today, may they create the causes that lead to the attainment of liberation from suffering. And then one meditates on ethics and generosity and so forth, creating causes that will ripen in liberation. And if that is too difficult to do, then reflect just on the suffering of the lower realms, and that will lead to the wish not to be born there. And then one can have a sincere commitment that everything I do today, I will ensure I don't bring harm to others, but I bring benefit to others, and may these causes then ripen as good rebirths in the future. So amongst these differing motivations, the very best is of course that of bodhicitta, otherwise a sincere wish for liberation, otherwise a rebirth, for a good rebirth. But if one lacks such a motivation, then no matter what spiritual practices one engages in, these aren't practices of the Buddha Dharma. They are not genuine practices of the Buddha Dharma. We'll continue then with this tomorrow. In particular, we will look at the antidote to this first type of clinging. Thank you.